home with me. Just kidding. Alright, guys, it's that time of year again. The time of year where I show off what I'm gonna be for Halloween this year. And okay, before I get started, yes, I know it's been forever since I've uploaded a video, and I'll probably get to that in another video, but let's just say that it started off with me wanting to focus more on my writing. And even then, I had a mental breakdown after my latest first and last day on a job. But like I said, that's a story for another time. So anyways, I know a bunch of you are probably wondering who on earth are you supposed to be, unless I'm lucky enough to have some theater kids / theater fans out there watching. So, oh, nope, not gonna say it. I'm going to sing it. Not like that. So, who am I? The one who's gonna marry you. I'm Orpheus. So yes, I am actually the female version of Orpheus, because as you can tell by the way I'm wearing my hair and the fact that I didn't even try to cover up my more feminine traits. And normally I don't like to do these kinds of costumes because my mantra is if it's not broken, don't fix it. And if I want more female characters, then I prefer to have original female characters rather than to just change a male character into a female character. However, I made an exception in this case because Orpheus has a few traits that some people would consider feminine, considering he's very artistic, soul-sensitive, a bit naive, empathetic, touchy-feely, you know. So I just figured, and plus there's the fact that I could really find myself relating to Orpheus and a lot of his mannerisms. And it just means so much to me to finally have a neurodivergent character in a Broadway musical. I mean, I guess we technically did have an autistic character in a Broadway play. I think was based on a book. I think it was called The Curious Case of the Howling Dogs in the Nighttime or whatever, based on a book of the same name. But that was a play, not a musical, and I'm more into the musicals than plays, though that could change if I decided to do a little more research. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, it means so much to me to finally have an autistic character, a neurodivergent main character in a musical. I've heard people say that Reeve Carney actually confirmed in an interview that Orpheus is autistic with ADHD. I haven't been able to find it, so if any of you in the comment section know where I can find it, then please either send me the link or tell me the name of the video, because I really want to find that out for myself. And then there's also the fact that some people have said that Reeve Carney was stage dooring with a fan, and the fan asked him, hey, what do you write down in that notebook, or do you even write anything in it, or do you just scribble? And she was expecting a simple answer, but it actually turned into a full-blown conversation about Reeve Carney and his ADHD and how he actually writes in the notebook to help him cope with his ADHD, and how he said that he thinks Orpheus has ADHD, which I totally agree with. I think that Orpheus is autistic with ADHD, which is actually not uncommon, because autism really just comes down to a different development of the brain structure. So it's not uncommon for other neurodivergences to be common, whether it be ADHD, anxiety disorders, or learning differences. But anyways, enough of that. I'm actually going to get enough of my babbling. I'm actually going to get into discussing my costume. So this is actually by far the easiest costume that I have had to put together, because most of the materials we actually had just laying around my house, or my parents' house. This is a shirt that I actually borrowed from my dad. He was actually perfectly okay with it because, one, we're getting into fall weather. It's going to be freezing cold. Well, not freezing cold, but cold. So it's long sleeve sweater weather. And 2, he doesn't really wear this shirt much anymore anyway. These pants are actually mine. I don't know where my mom got them, because my mom buys most of my clothes, because I don't really like to go clothes shopping unless I absolutely have to, because I don't know much about shopping. This bandana I just found lying around the house. It was probably for one of my brother's old costumes when he was a kid. And of course, I have my boots. These I actually wore for my Catherine Plummer costume. If somehow you've seen my old video where I posted my Catherine Plummer costume after the Tony Awards that year for the hashtag Tony Dreams. I obviously didn't get featured. I wasn't expecting to. I just thought that it was a super fun idea. And because I'm wearing pants, and you won't really be seeing my socks, it doesn't really matter too much. So I decided to wear my Halloween Argyle socks. I think that's what you call the pattern, Argyle. But anyways, so I decided to wear my fun Halloween socks. These suspenders are really the only thing that we actually had to buy, and they weren't too expensive. And they're actually pretty easy to put on. This is the first time I've ever worn suspenders, I guess because girls don't typically wear suspenders. I remember for Spirit Week when I was in high school, a few girls would wear them for whatever theme we were having, but this is the first time that I've ever worn them. And you've also probably seen this paper flower. I actually made this all by myself. It was a little tricky, but I got it down eventually. This is just red tissue paper and a pipe cleaner, which is sort of based on the paper flower that Orpheus makes for Eurydice out of a napkin. And as you can see, I'm wearing my hair in sort of a loose ponytail, because my mom suggested a bun so that my hair would look shorter, but I just thought that would look way too uptight for Orpheus. I just can't picture Orpheus wearing a bun, even as a girl. Maybe a loose bun, but I don't know. I just thought that a loose ponytail was the way to go. I might do pigtails because I saw this really, really, really cute fan art drawing on Tumblr. I think it was by this user Aliana. I don't know how it's pronounced. Alyonna. She does a lot of Hadestown fan art, so I highly suggest you check her out. I mean, I kind of had to stop just because a lot of it was kind of a reminder of a Hadestown fanfiction that I'd rather forget. I mean, the art itself isn't anything explicit or depressing or dangerous. It's just I can't handle any reference to that fanfiction because of my own personal issues, which I won't get into in this video. This is no hate to her. This is just me talking about my own personal issues for just a moment. But anyways, the fan art drawing I was talking about is actually sort of an alternate universe idea where the daughter of Orpheus and Eurydice and the daughter of Hades and Persephone are childhood friends, which I think would be really interesting because it would kind of overcome that generational conflict. And also, I think it would be interesting because I have yet to see a Hadestown fanfiction where both Orpheus and Eurydice and Hades and Persephone have kids. I intend to change that, but that will be a long time coming with all the ideas that I have stored away in my head. But anyways, now I'd like to address some of the props that I will be using. 2 props that I will be using and one that I unfortunately will not. I have a little notepad in my bedroom, but it may look a little fancy. It has like a kind of almost a leather cover with an orange button and a leather strap. I know that would probably look a little too fancy for Orpheus, considering he's supposed to be a poor boy, but I thought I'd take it because I also really like to write. So if I just randomly get an idea, I could write something down in there. And I also have a black coat that I'm going to be wearing, not tonight because it's not supposed to be super cold and I'm going to be going to a bonfire, so even if I do get cold, I can just huddle up close to the fire. But in case it's going to be freezing cold on Halloween, which it probably will because that's what weather's like here in Nebraska, especially with the wind chill. I have a big black wool coat that used to belong to my dad, but he hasn't worn it in years, so he's okay with me borrowing it. And my sister said it was kind of funny because it looks more like the coat that Eurydice would wear. And she thought it'd be kind of fun because instead of the guy giving the girl his jacket, it'd be the girl giving the guy her jacket. And I do like that, but my personal idea is it could be where Orpheus finds it after Chant, because in that number the Fates steal her coat and her bag of supplies, and Orpheus doesn't want to lose it, so instead of just carrying it, he actually decides to put it on so that he can give it back to her when he finds her. And I remember telling my sister that, and she just did this fake cry, and she was like, shut the F up, that is too cute. But anyways, so those are the props I will be using, and you have probably noticed by now that I do not have a lyre/guitar, and that is because, one, I'm not just going to go out and buy something just to have it as a prop, and two, my piano lessons are already tricky and expensive enough. I'm not going to ask my mom to blow more money on a guitar lesson, especially because I don't even know if I'd really be super interested in it. But hey, Orpheus is still Orpheus even without the lyre, because his real power, I mean, music isn't just his guitar/lyre, it's also in his voice, and that's pretty perfect for me because I have a bit of a higher voice, and if you're going to be Orpheus, you have to sing those really high notes, which is probably a pretty tall order for a guy. And just kind of something that I want to throw in there is, even though I personally am going as Orpheus, you know, as a girl, and I don't mind other people dressing up as the female version of Orpheus for cosplay or Halloween, I personally would not want Orpheus to be played by a girl. Now, before you all call me sexist, let me explain. See, kind of the whole point of Orpheus is that he's a very atypical representation of masculinity, because like I said, a lot of his traits could be considered more feminine. So I just kind of feel like making him into a girl would kind of miss the whole point of the message, because I feel like it's trying to show that guys can be strong in more ways than one. And I personally really like the Broadway version of Orpheus better, the soul-searching, naive dreamer, rather than the arrogant ladies' man. Because, I mean, seriously, there have been tons of different adaptations of the arrogant ladies' man. I mean, just pick one. I mean, most theater kids will think of either Gaston or Fiyero, but hey, credit where credit is due. At least Fiyero actually grows up and realizes that he was an arrogant tool in his younger years. But anyways, with that over, I hope you all really enjoy my costume. And oh yeah, one last thing I want to throw in there. I am actually going to go trick-or-treating this year. I have vowed to go trick-or-treating until I can no longer walk. And I'm really tempted to just go up to people's doors and say, come home with me, or rather sing it instead of saying trick or treat. Oh my gosh, that would probably freak some people out, but I'll probably do that to at least one or two houses. So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this video, please like and comment and subscribe to my channel for more. And feel free to tell me what you're going to be for Halloween this year. So that's all for now. Good night, brothers. Good night.